Hey, Shalom, Akim, giving all praise, honor, glory to Yahweh, Bashim, Yahushua, Bashim, Rakak, Badash, double honor to the apostles, elders of Great Millstone, salutations to the sincere Akim out there of the hopeful elect, all right? Recently in the news, you had the Daniel Penny case where the so-called white man that he put a Jake in a chokehold on a subway train. This is, I believe it was last year. And you know, Jake that was disgruntled. He probably was homeless, you know, mad, of course. You know, Jake is under these curses. But you know, the white man, Daniel Penny, when he put Jake in the chokehold, the brother wound up dying, you know? Man, he wound up dying. So it took him a while to charge Daniel Penny for this act, all right, which they brought up manslaughter charges, not murder charges, but manslaughter. Okay, it is a lot of conflict on whether it was murder, even though it wasn't premeditated, but you know, the use of deadly force, and whether it's just manslaughter. Okay, but anyway, you know, the DA, they did bring charges of manslaughter on him, in which manslaughter, scriptures even talk about manslaughter, okay? Manslaughter is more like an accidental killing. You know, it's not a premeditated murder. You know, in the judgment on manslaughter, according to the scriptures, is that the person who committed the manslaughter, they're supposed to be exiled in certain safe cities when the family of the deceased or the victim are not allowed to get vengeance on the culprit. All right. So you know, in this society, in this setup, Babylon the Great, which is America, there is no safe haven cities for people who commit manslaughter. You know, what they do is they just exile people to prison. You know, prison is a form of exilement, also a form of slavery, you know, and it's big business, prison industrial complex. All right. So, you know, if you committed manslaughter or accidental killing, or even try to defend yourself in certain states such as New York, okay, and you wind up killing somebody in the process, they will slam you right into the state penitentiary, man. All right, to be housed with murderers, rapists, and the worst that society has to offer. Okay, so the case of this guy Daniel Penny, you know, he had the manslaughter charge, and you know, the jury, they was deadlocked on trying to come up with a with the judgment. Okay, so the judge on that trial winded up dismissing the manslaughter charge, which is the top charge. All right, so I believe you have other charges like negligent homicide and things of that nature. I didn't follow his case too much to know all of the charges that he's facing, but the top charge, which was manslaughter, you know, which you can do like maybe, you know, about 15 years, I believe, for manslaughter in New York State, or maybe even more. All right, but the judge totally dismissed that charge. Okay, and you know, brothers that's in the truth, of course, we're not surprised. My next door neighbor, he was surprised. He's the one who basically told me about the Daniel Penny case, man. He said, yo, the judge threw the case out. The judge didn't throw the whole case out. He dismissed the top charge. But Jake be acting surprised anytime these white boys get off for killing our people, man. All right? What did the scriptures say? This is the book of Zechariah, chapter 11, verse 4. It says, thus saith the Lord my power, feed the flock of the slaughter. All right? And the Lord has us doing that through the spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. Brothers go out there on the highways and the byways, and we teach these breakdowns according to truth, the Bible breakdowns. All right? We make videos, etc., etc. Okay? And that's feeding the flock. We feeding them with knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. We feeding them the truth, the gospel, the good news. Okay? It reads on to say, whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty. Now, who has you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans in their possession today? The so-called white man, okay? Right? You so-called Negroes came over here, cargo slave ships, right? Prior to you being enslaved in America, the so-called white man took down the Native Americans and enslaved them as well. You know, when they reached the Caribbean islands, you know, they enslaved the Taino Indians, brought some of them back to Europe, a good portion of them back to Spain to enslave them, okay? So the so-called white man has our people in their possession, and that's even unto this very day, all right? It says, whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty. Yeah, that's right, man. So anytime a so-called white man, you know, slaughters a Jake, like you had the case with this guy named Zimmerman, and the young kid Trayvon, I forget his name, man. All right, but you know, but the white boy Zimmerman got off. He got off. You know, after he murdered Trayvon Martin, murdered him in cold blood, man. Okay, and Trayvon Martin wasn't guilty of doing anything, committing any crimes. Okay, George Zimmerman killed him in cold blood, man, and got off scot-free. You know, I mean, there's plenty of examples of that. Plenty of examples where the so-called white man slaughters our people and they get off scot-free. You know, the so-called white man has a whole police force, okay, that targets Jake. And a lot of times in the process, Jakes are getting killed by the police. Now, you might say, oh, you know, it's a black police officer might have killed the young black man in the streets, but that black man works for the so-called white man's police force, all right? So the so-called white man is still got to be held responsible for any time a police officer, whether it's a brown cop, black cop, so-called, even an Asian cop for that matter, okay, kills a young Jake in the streets. That's still the so-called white man slaying us. And these cops are rarely held accountable for their unjust actions against our people, man. That's why the scriptures say, whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty. Most of these cases, they get acquitted. Cases get thrown out. The case of Daniel Penny, the top charge of manslaughter just got dismissed, okay? All right? So it says, and they that sell them say, blessed be the Lord, for I am rich, and their own shepherds pity them not. That's right. You know, the so-called white man sold us into slavery, all right? And they became rich and successful, and lo and behold, they have America, the whole Western world, and even acquired the whole planet Earth, as the scriptures tell you in Job the 9th chapter, 24th verse. Okay? The wicked, the Most High gave the earth into the hand of the wicked, which that's the so-called white man. This is a white man's world, all right? And this was all acquired mainly through the takedown of the nation of Israel, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. And it says their own shepherds pity them not. It's talking about the sellout leaders among our people, man. You know, anytime a young Jake gets killed in the streets by some rogue cop, some racist bigot, you know, you always got these pacifist leaders of our nation, whether it be Al Sharpton, Jesse Jackson, all right? And, you know, this day and age, you got Benjamin Crump, okay, who basically stepped up the plate because Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackass, them guys is old now. Farrakhan, them dudes is old, man. They washed up. You know, they got one foot in the grave already, man. So you got, you know, you got guys like Benjamin Crump now, who's basically selling out to pacify our people, man. Promising them justice, but never get them any justice, man. You know, he might negotiate a little civil lawsuit deal with them where the family can get a little bit of money. But, you know, but the Perks who committed the murders of our people, they're never going to prison. They're never getting locked up for lengthy sentences, okay? They're never being held accountable for their actions, all right? It's the book of Psalms, chapter 58, verse 1. It says, do you indeed speak righteousness, O congregation? Do ye judge uprightly, O ye sons of men? Yea, in heart ye work wickedness. Ye weigh the balance of your hands in the earth. All right? And that's the so-called white man. They do not judge rightly, okay? And they weigh the balance of their hands in the earth. Violence meaning injustice, no justice, right? Black people like to march and say no justice, no peace. Because why? The so-called white man never, he never judges them uprightly. He never gives any justice to our people, you know? For the judge to just dismiss the top charge of manslaughter, all right? That's not righteous. That's not righteous judgment just because the jury was deadlocked, you know? Okay, and you know, of course, they're not judging according to the Holy Bible. Most importantly, all right, they're not judging according to the Holy Bible. Okay, but like I said, man, there's no reason to be surprised when situations like this pop up. When you see these white boys getting acquitted, these white boys murdering Jake, killing Jake, you know, and wind up getting acquitted. Okay, you know, that's why they don't give guys like me notices for jury duty, you know, because they know if I do jury duty, and if it's a white boy, I'm gonna say he's guilty off the rip. You know, I don't give a fuck if he's innocent of the pending charges. I'm gonna say he's guilty. You're guilty because you were Edomite, all right? Okay, you know, so that's why a guy like me, I can't do jury duty. You know, I'm too biased, I'm too racist, or what have you, okay? And they won't allow that. But yeah, Akim, man, I just wanted to share that with you brothers, man. You know, a little update on what's going on with the Daniel Penny case, and you know how it correlates to the scriptures, how the so-called white man is always going to justify his actions, and you Jakes, brothers, sisters out there for that matter, you will never receive any justice at the hand of the so-called white man in this society. All right, justice is going to come from our Lord and Savior, Yahweh Shah, who's a so-called black man who the people ignorantly call Jesus Christ. He's coming with righteousness, and he's coming with justice and vengeance for our people. All right, so just hold on, stay prayed up, man. Keep the faith. I'm gonna end this on that note. Say shalom, wa barakatuh to you brothers out there. Abaratazah, see you in the next one. Shalom.